Thank you for staying with us here on THV 11 Plus for Arkansas News Now. I'm Ashley King with meteorologist Nathan Scott. I'm going to ask you the same thing I did before. When is this going to melt? Maybe it's changed in 30 minutes.
I'm going to hear that over the next, I think, several days because it is a slow process. Here's a live look from our view, and you can see there's some good news in the interstates are great, but the side streets across the city and the country roads, they are still snow covered and ice covered. So for that reason, we have now made Wednesday all the way through Sunday a THV 11 weather impact alert, just because travel will continue to be hazardous with the snow and ice covered roads, but also the danger of black ice. So stay alert to changing road conditions, find another route if possible, and if you're not comfortable driving in this, don't take any unnecessary risk. Temperatures have climbed above freezing once again today. It's 36 in Little Rock, 47 though in Arkadelphia, 38 in Batesville. Wind chill, not too much of a factor, but it feels like 34 in Hot Springs. We'll see lots of sunshine today. Temperatures will be able to climb up into the low to mid 40s across the state. Tonight, the temperatures plunge back down into the 20s, so any slush, any liquid will refreeze once again. And going into later this week, we will have another Arctic blast move in. I'll let you know how cold it's going to get from this new Arctic change coming up.
Thank you, Nathan. And if our warnings that you need to be careful aren't enough, here's proof. This is Chico Road in Little Rock. And you just see clip after clip, people losing traction, sometimes disastrous consequences. It's a reminder that even a short trip can turn into a slippery mess. Neighborhood roads and side streets are still pretty icy across the capital city. THV 11's Tamara Knight, she knows, she has been riding around in Weather Force 1, or Weather Force 11, there's two ones, for days, it feels like. Right, Tamara?
Well, now that I'm past the whiplash, we are in downtown Little Rock. The roads here are still a little rocky, if you can't tell. Almost feels like a bounce house because the snow has piled up so high, but the conditions in the inner city streets match what we've been seeing in the neighborhood so far. I'm going to flip the camera so that you can see that this downtown area looks very similar to what we've been showing you all morning. If our tower cams, well, there it is. Okay, so this is downtown near Louisiana Street and Spring Street. The snow is still here, so the city of Little Rock has not done any work, and we're coming up on a big bump, so we're gonna nice work, Chris. Yeah, my life is in his hand. It has been all week. But yes, the conditions are very similar to what we've been seeing all across the city, all across central Arkansas. So if you're at home, again, we're just going to keep saying it. If you don't have to be outside, make sure you stay in because the conditions are not safe. Although they are safe on the interstate, they remain a question mark and a hazardous for those in the inner city and inside of neighborhoods. Reporting for THV 11 News, I'm Tamara Knight.
Thank you to Tamar and her passenger journey there in the back seat. A lot of the damage we've seen from this storm has been structures collapsing under the intense weight of all of the ice and snow. And that's exactly what happened at the Saline County Fairgrounds. That's where we find THV 11's Tanya Motorzitsky. Tanya, what's it looking like?
You know, it's a really devastating and sad situation here in Saline County. I'm going to kind of play Vanna real quick and show you because the fence is in the way. But what we're looking at is the rodeo part of the fairgrounds. And you can see the bleachers are intact on both sides, but it's the roof over it that just caved in. The only thing that's worth standing right now is the concession area from the rodeo part. And so just a very sad time for folks. But I did speak with folks with the Fairgrounds board, and he said that they're planning on building bigger and better, and they're working on finding temporary locations for the youth who come here and train and practice in the meantime.
Build back better and stronger. I have a feeling we're gonna, some of the flaws that we might have had in the way the audience sat in there might have been more of an obstructed view. But we feel confident that we'll be able to fix that. And so when we come back, when we say bigger and better, we're really talking bigger, better, and better for the community.
Now, rodeo season is about 8 months away, and they think it's plenty of time to rebuild until then. So it's just a day-by-day kind of situation while they work on repairing and rebuilding and salvaging, because they won't know how bad the damage is until everything melts. For now, live in Saline County, Tanya Motorzitsky, THV 11 News.
Thank you, Tanya. And this winter storm and ensuing bitter cold have caused prolonged power outages for hundreds of thousands, particularly across the southern U.S. The damage from ice and cold was most significant in a swath stretching from East Texas through Louisiana, Mississippi, and into Nashville, Tennessee. Evan Rodriguez joins us live from Nashville with the latest on power recovery efforts.
Around 100 million people are under cold alerts for frigid temperatures that will stick around for days. More record lows are expected in the south and east through at least this weekend.
We could be looking at a while before a lot of people see power, even potentially into next week. And with the weather right now, that's a concern.
In Lafayette County, Mississippi, a majority of customers are still without power. Crews there are facing challenges with the cold weather and debris from trees.
Due to the impact of the trees falling, power lines snapping, the roadways are very impacted from that, and that just delays the linemen being able to get to those areas because we've got to get all that debris cleared out.
The governor of Mississippi deployed about 500 National Guard members to assist with debris cleanup and traffic control. Still, it takes time. A similar obstacle faced by crews in other southern states like Tennessee.
We've already had a few scenarios where lines have been restored on one stretch of a roadway, and just around the block, another line will come down as a new branch falls.
Over 50 storm-related and cold-related deaths were reported across multiple states, including Tennessee and Mississippi. A main cause of death so far has been hypothermia. In Nashville, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Around 100 million people are under cold alerts for frigid temperatures that will stick around for days, and we're going to hear more about that. But new details are emerging from Sunday's deadly Maine plane crash. The Bombardier Challenger 600 flipped over and burned on takeoff. This coming after taking part in standard de-icing processes prior to departure. On Sunday, at least 7 people died. The plane burned while on the tarmac. It was en route from Houston to Paris to refuel. A plane crash expert shares the steps that will be taken to help solve this crash.
First big factor they're going to go through are pilot factors, right? Human factors, okay? The second factor they're going to go over is the aircraft itself. What does the mechanical log look like? Were there any issues leading up to the crash? And then, of course, weather is going to be some sort of factor in this crash.
An investigation is underway to determine the cause of the accident. UPS says it will no longer fly the MD-11F cargo jet. The Boeing plane involved in the deadly FedEx crash in Kentucky, killing 15 people. UPS says it has retired all 26 MD-11Fs in its fleet. It voluntarily grounded the MD-11F after the crash, a move later followed by the FAA. NTSB findings from the November crash show there was a 3-inch wide metal bearing housing critical to keep the left engine attached to the wing that showed pre-existing metal fatigue and cracking. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is receiving increasing calls for impeachment or termination. Federal lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are making the suggestion for changes to the administration, some including House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, along with Representatives Catherine Clark and Pete Aguilar. In addition to Republican North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis and Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski. President Donald Trump is standing with her, praising her performance. A man attacked Minneapolis Congresswoman Elaine Omar at a town hall meeting last night. Video captured him spraying an unknown substance at her. The incident happening just seconds after the Democratic Congresswoman called for DHS Secretary Kristi Noem to resign and urged the abolishment of ICE. The man then rushed to the podium, yelling at her and appearing to spray a substance through a syringe. It was unclear what the substance was or whether it actually hit Omar, and he was taken into police custody. Amazon says it's laying off 16,000 employees. It cites a need to be nimble to increase decision-making speed around AI. The cuts follow 14,000 others in October. Amazon says it will continue to adjust staffing as needed. That includes with potential hires in other strategic areas. UPS says it's cutting up to 30,000 jobs. The New York Times reports the company expects to deliver fewer Amazon packages this year. UPS says it will reduce staff through attrition and voluntary separation. Offers for full-time drivers. According to the Times, the cuts also will affect warehouse workers. The new cuts follow tens of thousands last year. UPS has said it wants to reduce its work with Amazon, saying the partnership is largely unprofitable. Still ahead on Arkansas News Now, January is Blood Donation Month. What you should know to help contribute.
And black ice will continue to be a danger over the next several nights into the mornings. You see it all the way into early next week. That's just because the temperatures will be below freezing each and every night. But a second blast of Arctic air is on the way, and it may produce a few flurries. I'll let you know when coming up.
All hands on deck to save a child in the middle of record-breaking snowfall.
It didn't really sink in until I got there and the ambulance was behind me with their lights and sirens.
An ODOT driver behind the plow for a most important mission.
That window of time was important because the conditions were only worsening throughout the day.
As a father myself, it hit me like, I don't know the age, the sex, the race, the religion of this child, nothing, no details, still don't know. And it was get this child to this hospital for whatever they need.
We had an awesome friend from ODOT that met us on the highway to get us there, and we got the baby here safely, so that's what matters in the end.
A snowy drive from Children's Hospital to Mercy Hospital and back.
The minute that we saw Joe, we knew everything was going to be just fine.
And baby Bryson is doing fine with a little help from some new friends. A driver just doing his job and a team of EMTs ready to answer the call.
Plow the way safely, let's get there in one piece, and because it's probably the most important trek of my ODOT career. It wasn't just pushing snow, it was getting this ambulance to this hospital safely and back.
Good afternoon, Central Arkansas meteorologist Nathan Scott. I love this camera shot from iDrive Arkansas because it really tells the story. Yes, the interstates are clear. The main roads, there are some areas of slush and maybe some ice, but you see the difference. This is Highway 70, Lonsdale, Garland County. This looks great, but you make a turn onto this side street, Lonsdale Cutoff Road, and you run into a situation where you could get stuck. And I've been watching this all morning long, and there have been several vehicles that have been stuck right there at the intersection. That is the problem we're facing on those backcountry roads, on the city side streets, and then also the hilly areas, the neighborhood roads across the region. So here's the road impact forecast. Interstates, once again, pretty good shape. Although still watch out for the on and off ramps for some patches of snow and slush. Main highways, same story. That will also be an issue through Thursday, but the side streets, the county back roads, it is such a slow melting process. I think some locations could see snow and ice coverage on those roads until next week, especially in the shady areas. Mornings ahead, the temperatures will stay below freezing each and every night. In fact, we really drop down this weekend as a secondary shot of Arctic air makes its way in. So we have black ice concerns, but also tomorrow morning, we have to watch out for the potential of some freezing fog. That was the chance out there earlier this morning. It really didn't evolve across a large part of central Arkansas, so we'll have to see what happens through tonight into your Thursday morning. And if this does happen, if you wake up and there's fog, you got to watch out, because this is the type of situation where those tiny water droplets act like freezing drizzle, and they will cling and freeze to anything on contact. And that does include roads that have already been cleared. So don't be fooled. Watch out for that potential. Meteorologist Tracy Bean, of course, will keep you updated starting at 5 o'clock for tomorrow morning. Your next 3 days, 41 on Thursday. If the clouds clear out, we'll be able to get into the low 40s. If we see more sunshine than expected, we may be able to climb up into the mid to upper 40s in some locations. Then we drop down into the upper 20s, low 30s on Friday as the second shot of Arctic air moves in, sticks around on Saturday. I think that's going to be the coldest out of the next 7 days as the numbers only top out into the mid 20s. As this Arctic air makes its way in, we will have the potential of seeing there could be a flurry. So here's tonight into Thursday morning, showing that chance of some fog developing. And then going into Thursday night, Friday, here comes the Arctic front. May have enough moisture to produce a few flurries in the north central Arkansas and even here into parts of central Arkansas. There could be an isolated dusting. And this trend of still a few flurries just because some upper level disturbances will make their way through remains in place for Friday night and even throughout the day on Saturday. The big story is going to be the chilly air. Look at this, long-range European showing single digits for Saturday morning and highs on Saturday only topping out into the low to mid 20s. Even Sunday morning, still bitterly cold, but things will start to moderate getting into next week. Have to get through this wind chill forecast though. There you see it, Saturday morning feeling like below zero in a lot of locations. 23 tonight, filtered moonlight, watch out for black ice and patchy freezing fog. We're up to 41 with some more melting, but once again, it's a slow go on your Thursday. And here's your THV 11 weather impact alert all the way through Sunday. Then next week, things finally turn around. Temperatures will moderate. Got several 40s showing up on the board. There could be some 50s in some locations, which will really aid in that melting process.
January is National Blood Donor Month, and the blood supply is critically low right now. The American Red Cross has declared a severe shortage after the supply dropped 35% in the past month. Bradley Blackburn gives us a closer look at the growing need.
Critical blood shortages are being reported around the country. The racks are nearly empty at this New York Blood Center storage hub.
We are currently in a blood emergency, which is the equivalent of approximately 2 days worth of blood on the area hospital shelves.
With the urgent need, Tina's Titans and Vinny's Army joined forces and organized this blood drive. Valentina has a rare, serious blood disorder. Vinny is a kidney cancer survivor who needed over 30 transfusions during his battle.
3 or 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer when I was 10, and so I had to go through so much treatment, and we needed to give back to the community, so we founded Vinny's Army.
The nation usually sees a drop in donations around this time of year because people don't donate over the holidays. Bad weather and illnesses also get in the way, and high schools and colleges have breaks and aren't hosting drives. The New York Blood Center calls the low blood supply concerning.
It definitely impacts the treatment of patients that are coming in for emergency situations, surgery patients, patients that are being treated for leukemia or cancer. If the platelets and stuff aren't there, we have to work to find them or transfer them from other blood banks.
Kelly Smeltz heard about this drive and made an appointment. She rolls up her sleeve to donate a couple of times a year.
Just a little bit of your time and you can help people, and that's really kind of amazing.
Donate, donate, donate. We need as many people as we can to get into their blood centers.
Because just 1 pint of blood can save as many as 3 lives. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
Well, Nathan, I'm going to try to attempt to get back home. It took me over an hour to get here today.
Wow.
What usually is a 20-minute drive, but that was at 5 this morning. So hopefully it's better now.
Because you live in an area where it's shady and it's going to take a while for those roads to really improve. And if you live on a country road or, neighborhood street, there's not going to be much improvement. We'll get up to freezing or above freezing today, more the same on Thursday. Watch out for some areas of freezing fog tomorrow morning, along with that black ice potential all the way through Sunday. That's why we have that weather impact alert. Then you see the numbers dropping down into the low 30s on Friday. Small chance there could be a few flurries flying around. Saturday, highs only into the 20s. It's going to be windy. It's going to feel like below zero Saturday morning. And then we start to climb out of this grip of winter as temperatures will be able to climb up to the 40s next week.
All right. Sounds cold. Be sure to join us today at 4 for more news and weather on THV 11. Thank you for joining us.